I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Watch about dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Orchard Race, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah, someone on for the food from young, from we there, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.
Yes, greetings and welcome, people. Good morning. Thank you for joining I Am Sure Sports this morning. I am Manning's man, and today we have a very good one lined up for you. We should be having a couple of legends joining us this morning to talk about Jamaica's past, present, and future as it relates to football. But before we get into that, we want to thank the sponsors of our video, Tricknick Cook, located out there in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, right? So here's what you have to do to get 25% off on all Tricknick products. You just use the coupon code I Am Sure Sports 001. 25% off. I Am Sure Sports 001. You enter that and you get 25% off. Everything jerk, everything curry, you can get it there. All your seasoning and spices. And what they do is so awesome because they use a lot of Jamaican stuff to make their products. They come to Jamaica and buy their stuff, and then bam, there you go. So watch this. So let me tell you a little bit about Tricknick.
18 Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Tricknick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
There you have it. So check them out. Yeah, and get all your, if you're a cook, you need to use these products so that you can be you can be a chef. And if you're a chef, get some of these products, spice up your stuff so that you can be called a top chef. But thanks to everyone. Yeah, man, thanks to everyone for joining. I see Rob Simit, I see Shatta who is in. Yeah, man, very good book, Talent Code. Shatta, listen, I mean, very good book. And the other one, Outliers, very, very good read. I'd love for you, Shutter. I know you don't normally show your face, but I'd love for you when you finish reading that book to kind of share with some people some of the thoughts, so we can understand, how talent works and think. Very, very good book. I encourage all persons involved in any sort of sports discussion to read that book, Talent Code, and also to read um, The Outliers. The Outliers is by, I think, Malcolm Cadwell is his name, and he has some Jamaican roots. Very, very, very good book. And I think some of those books help me to better understand the dynamics of sports and talent just globally, why in certain places certain people do well. um, yeah, and if you don't understand that, you're going to cast aspersions and make inaccurate judgment when you're measuring people's talents and successes. And so if you're a reader, you can do that. If not, you always can do audiobooks so you can listen to them. Readers are leaders, you have to read. Big up Rob Simit. Um, big up Brian as well. Thanks for having you. Yeah, Rob Simit says good discussion on the coach's desk last night. That is Coach Minzy. And if you have not checked out that platform, please do so. Give them some love and support. You have other platforms out there doing some good work. You have Ryan LFC. You have um, uh, Military Guna, you have Sports Down the Middle, you have Sports Frenzy, you have the Formula Sports. So many good YouTube channels out there putting out information for the benefit of all of us. All right, today, like I said, the program is going to be taking kind of uh, looking at a legend, but from a different perspective. As you know, today is celebrated as Heroes Day in Jamaica. I think Elaine Thompson, one of our athletes, she has received an award, Order of Distinction in the Commander class for her exploits at the recently concluded Olympics. And just over the years, she has been a good servant to Jamaica's track and field. There you go. Oh, you know it, Shutter. You're one of the best-selling authors in the world. Yeah, his mom is Jamaican. Good author. So people, check out these books if you can. We're not really, we understand we endorsing, but we love, right? Yeah, yeah, man. All right, big up Jeff Nicholson and Dre. Yeah, Dre Anyweather and Teddy Lee have channels as well. Yeah, man, check them out. But I don't know if you also noticed that Natoya Gould, there was I don't know if you call these things monuments, but a little concrete structure with her name in the community that she's from, with a photo of hers, was done up, and the Minister of Sports, the Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange, was there, and the Member of Parliament. And I'm thinking, as I saw that on the news yesterday, I was saying it's the same kind of idea I have for our footballers. I think the people in track and field, they have been doing this a whole lot better than the persons in football. A lot more needs to be done for our footballers. And so I hope the pleas that were made yesterday in our videos, they have gotten to the ears of the powers that be, and the powers that be, they can now implement some of these things to honor some of our past legends. Like I said, sometimes people don't need money to feel respected. We need to give honor where honor is due. We need to give honor where honor is due. And what these guys did in 1998 is historic. And so let's keep that in the back of our minds. Don't know if you know as well that there's a new marketing person at the GFF, Mrs. Harris. She has yeah, she is a new marketing person. They had a Donchi who was there. She's no longer there. And so the JFF has employed someone new in their marketing department. And so I hope this person can do a lot more work in terms of marketing. The fans have been crying out for better marketing. So the newspaper article says, with the Jamaica Football Federation struggling for sponsorship of its World Cup qualifying campaign, marketing specialists Sophia Harris, is answering the call once again to help gain the necessary financial support. It says Harris, who served the JFF directors of market, served as the JFF director of marketing and business operation from 2017 to 2020. So she was actually in the position last year. Says that she's finalizing an agreement to guide the federation's sponsorship effort, right? But this time as a consultant through her firm, Law Global Consulting, of which she is founder and CEO. Article goes on to say that the GFF General Secretary Dalton Wint reportedly stated that the federation is once again without a marketing manager, as he outlined the need for additional partners, with spending for the qualifiers already exceeding 100 million Jamaican dollars. Harris said that Wind had reached out to her last week regarding providing assistance in that capacity as another search for a marketing manager continues. So she's going to be a consultant and they continue to search for a marketing manager. The article goes on and says it feels as though they haven't found the right fit, meaning for the position, and they haven't been able to build upon what was there as of January 2020, Harris told the Gleaner. However, it seems though we are at the critical hour. The games have begun, and when they asked me to come on board, there were only two sponsors at the time. I am doing it primarily for the players and for the national football program and for Brand Jamaica, to which I'm extremely passionate and dedicated. Listen to this, people. I am doing it primarily for the players and for the national football program and for Brand Jamaica. Not doing it for the JFF. All right. Harris says that she has maintained a good relationship with the federation since her departure and has previously offered pro bono assistance. As she returns to lend support in a different capacity, she says that her immediate plans involve not only signing the additional partners needed, but to improve the team engagement with 9 games remaining, right? We want to try and do a bit more high level marketing surrounding the team and to get a lot more high level exposure for the team and their campaign. We are trying to reframe the campaign on a more international level than what it has been, Harris said. Harris says that the difference in the digital engagement and proposal approach in 2020 has not gone unnoticed by other potential partners who have complained about the drop in standard. However, she says that despite the difficulties, the brand is still viable to attract corporate sponsorship. And it goes on and on. Very lengthy article, and you can read the rest of it in the Gleaner. So what really happened is that she was at the GFF up to 2020. She left the GFF. She started her own company, a consultant company. The GFF marketing person, she left, and so they have asked her to come. And here's what she's going to sit in this position until they find someone. Yeah, who can do it. And I hear so far, I've really heard a lot of good things about her, right? I see Brian Myton put in here that yes, they name a road in honor. Natalia Gould Avenue, paved a roadway and built a drainage system to the tune of $6.5 million. This is what, listen, all I'm very happy for what Natalia Gould did. I think she has been a tremendous servant to track and field in Jamaica. But what the footballers did in 1998, is it any less of accomplishment than what Natalia Gould has done at the Olympics? Yeah. Is it? Is it? Yeah. Is Natalia Gould's accomplishment for this kind of honor to be bestowed upon her and all respect to her, is it more than what the 1998 World Cup qualifying team accomplished? Why haven't we paid much attention to them? Big up, Coach Minzy. You'd have also heard in the news as well that the JFF, the Jamaica Football Federation, is proposing 50% capacity in the national stadium for the game against the United States. 50% capacity, 50% capacity in the stadium. What say you? What say you? Yeah, Natalia Gould is recent and therefore more relevant. Okay, understand that. I see Brian saying, yes, man, his Gould has been a flag bearer over that distance since Kenya Sinclair stepped away from the sport. No, all right. So let me ask again: what Natalia Gould has accomplished in the sport and track and field, representing Jamaica, is it greater than the accomplishment of the players who qualified the team to the 1998 World Cup? Because when I look at it, I don't know, maybe I've missed some things. I haven't seen the same level of governmental recognition where anything, I don't know of any player in Jamaica that has anything named after them from that 1998 World Cup campaign, right? Coach Minzy is saying, and he's in track and field, saying that track gets more leverage. That is true. Track and field gets more leverage. Like again, when you go up to the national stadium, there's no footballer. There's the statue of no footballer is up there, but we have our track athletes, and Bob Marley, of course, is there. And I mean, we should have our footballers up there, at least one. I at least one. But big up Claudine. You know, things are going to be kept in order because she's here. Manners and respect management. Every time we learn about the JFF, every time we learn anything about the JFF, it's not great. Great thing. JFF need to dismiss new people coming, preferable people have never served before. All right. Big up Sports Frenzy. I see this. She's a marketer. She's justifying what some could consider a bad word move. Yeah, man, is man. You have a point. However, track and field gets more leverage. Yeah, Coach Minzy also said that track and field. Yeah, but the person in terms of global medals, Natalia Gould has not won a gold. Listen, she's an ambassador when it comes on to distance running, and I agree. And I think this needs to be done for her. All I'm saying is that I kind of find it that every other sport, when you go to Sabina Park, you'll see pictures of Courtney Walsh and the great Jamaican West Indian cricketers, but you don't see that with footballers. And that is part of the issue, I believe, with football generally. I think that is the biggest issue with football. Football is not treated, I believe, with the level of respect that it ought to, in relation to other sports. And that's my honest opinion that football don't get the kind of respect I think it ought to. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's an individual sports. See this Jerome 876, football is still seen as recreation by the powers that be, so football don't get the same level of respect. Yeah, as track and field. Yeah. Yep. champs keep and all now football gonna start. See, there's something. The JSR is more professional than the JFF, therefore sees more relevance. The sport minister needs an audit of the JFF and reorganize for a new professional. You know what is funny? When it comes on, because remember, um uh, one of the things I am learning as it relates to the JFF, that in terms of monies, a lot of what they do now, I don't know about in the past. They are under serious monitoring by FIFA. In other words, there are a lot of things that they do, and I'm going to try to get some proof of this. Like when they go on trips, like a lot of those things are, it's almost like they have to get approval. Like there is a disbursement of funds. Like that is how closely they are monitored. So I there may be corruption that people can prove, but where that is concerned, it would be interesting if all the sporting bodies are investigated by the federal heads, meaning like the Olympic Association or the IAAF, International Athlete Amateur Athletics, or I don't know what they call it, but I know it's IAAF, and the head of the cricketing stuff investigate like West Indies cricket. Like if all of these heads and FIFA investigate the GFF, if all of these things to see which of these bodies would come out unscathed, it would be interesting to have something like that to see how things would work, right? At least Bibi should have something somewhere because his time in the Prem. I not only I like I said yesterday, what happened in 1998 is so historic. Truthfully, it is 89 years, and Jamaica has done it once. 89 years of World Cup football, though we have not participated in all the qualifiers. We have participated in most of the qualifiers, and only once have we done it. So I think, I'm not saying that it needs to be done, statues of them need to be at the National Stadium, but at least in the parishes that they live, in the parishes that they live, even if there's a part of the bleachers, you have the Reggae Boyz 1998 seats, something like that, just to let these players know that what they did is appreciated and respected, right? Yeah, Shatta, I figured that it was. Yeah, man. Man is even the man that prepared the pitch at Savannah Park got honored with his pick on the wall. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Even the man who prepared, this is a very big point because Brian knows a lot about cricket, and he's going to be part of our panel when we start discussing the World T20 that is going on right now, but it's at the early stages where teams are playing off, I think, to get in the official tournament. If you're a rugby person, the Jamaica Sevens rugby team, they also defeated Mexico to qualify for the World Rugby, that is the Sevens tournament. They have qualified for that, so big them up, all right, on that. And again, you'd have heard that the JFF are petitioning and requesting of the government to permit half the capacity of the stadium for the November fixtures. All right, so that's something that you need to bear in mind, right? I see Claudius Manningsman, the other sports have won medals. Football haven't proven itself after all these years. Really, qualifying for the World Cup, I think, is a big thing. I think qualifying for the World Cup is a big thing, Claudine. So I don't know if we can say football has not proven anything. It's harder to win a gold medal, but Jamaica has dominated the Caribbean for several years in football. We have been ranked the highest in the Caribbean for several years. We have ranked third and fourth in CONCACAF. We have ranked in the top 50 of all the nations in the world in football, right? So we can't say that, because when you look at cricket, remember, as a cricketing nation, it is individuals who have represented the West Indies and not Jamaica per se. So I don't necessarily think this is a good measuring stick when you look at our history in football. All right. King Job says, do you think it is not respect because of the negative image that the GFF constantly displays? All right. So if we can't look at this present administration, what I'll tell you is that in 1998, there was a lot of respect for the GFF and nothing was done. So remember in 1998 when we qualified, there was a lot of sponsorship, there was a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of stuff going on with the football. They were highly respected, but none of these things were done as far as I can remember. And maybe they should have capitalized on that time. Maybe they should have, right? I went to the JFF and saw the 1998 team pick, and they have wrong names. I'm telling you, aside in the offices, right? So when you go in the office, it's to your left. You're absolutely right, Coach Minzy. But people, without any further ado, I'm going to invite our legend, and then we're going to continue our discussion. He doesn't have a lot of time with us this morning, so let me add him to the stream and tell me if you know him. This is people. Well, you see his name right there. This is Lynval Palla Wilson. Mr. Wilson, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Listen, I know you don't have a lot of time, so I won't even try to keep you. I want to just, the people have been asking for, where are the Reno people? The Reno great team, they have all disappeared. No one sees them. No one hears about them. You don't see them on TV like other people. So finally, I have been able to lay hold on the captain of Reno in their glorious years. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your time in football, probably from high school all the way to your glorious Reno years and representing Jamaica?
Well, it's thanks for having me. First and foremost, I've been looking forward to come on your program from the first time I've heard about this program and knowing that is a man from Westmoreland.
Yeah.
I think having this program, it's kudos to you, my friend, and I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Respect that.
Back to the question that you were asking about my coming up in football from primary school. I started primary school at Circleford Campbell Primary School in Savlamar. People used to call it the Catholic school.
Yeah.
But it was Circleford Campbell Primary, the former Governor General. But I tell you, from those days, I have the love for the game. I remember days gone by. My mother, may her soul rest in peace. She used to stop me. She used to try to talk me out of going to play football. Even time when we come home from school, she even put on her dress for me not to go over the football field, prevent me from going over the football field. I'm wearing my mother dress over there, go play ball, see me. I couldn't stop me. So I have the love of the game from that time. But a lot of people never know that I'm a cricketer myself. I'm a very good cricketer. Yeah, man, cricketer. Yeah, you see, cricket was my first sport.
Oh,
yeah, man, I was a wicket keeper batsman, man. If I followed the cricket, I could have ended up playing for West Indies.
Are you sure about that? Because Jeff Dujan was in your time,
Yeah, I could have. Who to tell? You know what I mean? Because we never know. We'll have to just go there and work hard like any other thing.
Okay.
But the football after a while, I decided that the sun was too hot for the cricket. I couldn't manage the sun. I decided that I want to play a sport that's much shorter.
Okay,
so I decided,
awesome.
I'll stop at football. So I've been playing there. After primary school, I went to Godfrey Strand.
So how did you leave? Catholic school is right behind. Sir Clifford Campbell is right behind Mannings. Why did you jump all the way over Mannings and end up over Godfrey Stewart, which was I think it was in the time sub-secondary at that time?
Yes, that was sub-secondary. What happened, when the time come, them time is common entrance. And it was so unfortunate. Them time they have to produce your birth certificate, and my mother couldn't find my birth paper. So that's why I never get the chance to take the common entrance. So I went to Godfrey Strand. Because I remember the days I used to walk from over my school, a primary school, and jump over the fence to go and watch Mannings play. When the mighty Cornwall and Mannings, that was the clash of the centuries. Anytime Cornwall come to Mannings, it's roadblock.
Yes.
Yeah, those days. So I used to love the game, but I went to Godfrey Strat. And then at Godfrey Strat, I spent 2 years at Godfrey Strat. And then after, I have to tell you, so that there was a gentleman, he passed now, that Owen Cunningham. A lot of people know him as Bones.
As what's that name?
Bones.
Bones. Oh, Bones. Yes.
His right name is Owen Cunningham. That if that man was still alive, man, football in Westmoreland wouldn't be the same. I can tell you that. Because he loved the sports and he had a passion for it. People used to talk all kind of things about him, but him always put the football first. So that's where I started. Him discover me, and then him introduced me to, you remember, former president of the JFF, Winston Boxhill?
Right, Boxhill.
Yes, Owen Cunningham Bones introduced me to Mr. Boxhill when he was the traffic examiner in Sablamar.
Okay.
So Bones introduced me to him, and that's where it started. And we had this team. Boxhill have found a team named Westland.
Okay. Whoa.
We had an Honor 19 team named Westland, who won the parish Honor 19 competition. And then, he brought me to Veertech. I introduced me to the coach, Kenneth Bob Campbell. As a kid, I was like 15, 16 years old at the time. And then I went to Veer, started at Veer, play Honor 16, played the Costa Cup. I've won the Costa Cup in 1980.
Whoa.
With Andrew Fedham was my captain.
Okay, because I'm supposed to talk to Fedham up and Eldam up, the man from St. Ann.
Yes, man.
The man, they said that nobody can take the ball from him when he stood up over it.
same gentleman there, man. So, that's where it started. So,
hold on. I had Tigat on the program, right? And he said that Veer team defeated his
it's the Costa Cup team at Clarendon College.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
We had some very good players. There was a gentleman named Ron Palmer. He died from Boyz Town. He was a natural left footer. He was like something else to watch. He was a player like Walter Boy.
Whoa.
Natural left will cut you like a knife. When him pick the ball up, man, you can't handle him.
Okay, so you had Eldam up. Tell us about that team at Veer. Some of the players you remember being there.
We had Mifkel Dillon. I don't know if you remember, they used to call him Little Berger, because his brother used to play for Santos back in the days. That was the big Berger, so they call him the Little Berger. We have what name? Lloyd. Winston Lloyd was the goalkeeper from Tivoli. So we had a mixed bunch. We have players from Arnett Gardens. We have players from August Town. We have players from Rural. We have players from St. Anne's, players from Westmoreland. So the team was kind of rounded those days. And just our principal, Mr. Ben Francis, that man used to love the sports.
So you see, all these things are history. Some of the people don't know that Ben Francis was actually the principal at Veer, and that's why they have the Ben Francis knockout. It was
that's
named
why they had.
him.
Yes, and we were the first team to win that competition. Veer was the first team to win the Ben Francis. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
We beaten St. Elizabeth Tech in the finals at Gerard Park 2-1, 1982.
Okay.
So that's where it started. And then from Veer, some people are talking about young players playing Premier League. We were come out the first set of young players play. I played Premier League when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
I played Premier League for Westland, because you had Reno and Westland playing in the Premier League when the Polo came and stopped the competition. And I played Premier League from age 16.
Whoa.
So there's a long time we had young players playing the Premier League. And see, I grew up. And then after I left Westland, Boxhill Box Hill get transferred from Westmoreland. So, without the backbone with an ex-gentleman named Bardwell and Box Hill. They were the president and vice president of the club. And they got transferred from the parish. So, after them got transferred from the parish, the team started to get shaky a while.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, Bardwell got transferred first. And it was only Box Hill. So what we did, Box Hill decided, so, okay, all of us will just go over to Reno and straighten Reno, and we could just have one team. And we did that.
Whoa. Okay,
So we
so
did
that's how Reno got strong. Look at that. I didn't even know that,
Yeah, but Reno had those days, man. When you used to watch Reno and Westland play, it was like a Premier League, and we were just playing in the Major League because all the players them from the different high schools, Monroe, Stets, Veer, all of those players came back to play for their club.
Yeah.
So we had the competition was very good. It was very good. We used to enjoy those days in Savannah.
All right.
Football.
So all of you went over to Reno, and then you continue from there.
Continue from there. So I went to Reno, played Reno.
What year did you get to Reno?
1982. I went to Reno in 82.
You were still a teenager then?
I was still a teenager.
Oh.
Yeah, I was still a teenager playing for Reno. And then after we went there, when we went to Reno, we had Downswell, we had Angel Angels, we have Boyz and Nicholson, we have Miller, Swellroy Miller, we had
Wedderburn was the keeper then, or not?
Wedderburn was there, but he had left and went to Wadada and then came back.
Okay. What about Big Ed? Big Ed?
Pringle was there.
Okay.
So I went and see all those senior players, So what I did, I tried to learn from them. Go on them wings and try to learn from them. I've been playing with them. And then after a while, we decided that when the other year come, when we had Cape Donaldson now and we have Donald Hewitt, all of those boys from Rossies.
Yeah.
They came
into the side young as well. In their teenage years.
They came into the side, yo. Yeah. Yes, and we have Dennis Hudson from former national player also that used to attend St. Elizabeth Tech. So all of us as youngsters now, we decided that, all right, we told Downswell and Nicholson said, listen, time for you guys retired and become coach. So we asked them to coach the team. We will play and they will be our coach. And we decided, so listen, we're going to work hard. We're going to work as hard as we can because we need to win one of the championship. And we started there. We started to do well. People start to open their eyes. But we weren't the best. We weren't the best Reno team, The first time we won the championship, they were a better Reno team before us. Because you remember we used to have Noel Sweetie-Smith who used to play for Reno. I think that's one of the greatest players. I think that's one of the greatest players passed through Jamaica. A lot of people haven't seen him play.
Sweetie-Smith. Like, these young people hear that name and said, we are talking about, because you don't know Leon Bailey, you don't know Tyreek McGee, you don't know Mikel Antonio, you don't know all of these. That's why you're saying Sweetie-Smith is. How good was Sweetie-Smith?
Anybody who know about Sweetie-Smith will tell you that gentleman, he's special. He's a complete footballer. He do everything with any foot when it comes to skills. That man spent hours at the pitch training, hours by himself. In my opinion, I think he's one of the best players passed through this country.
Whoa.
My opinion, because
so you're saying that the Reno team that won the 3 titles, that was not the best Reno team.
That wasn't the best Reno team for me, because I've seen
Angel
Andrews, Sweetie-Smith, Pringle. Pringle was a master,
Yeah.
Big Ed Pringle was a master with the ball. So I've seen those players and I've played with them. So I can tell you, Sweetie-Smith was the gem.
Right. All right. So tell us about Yeah, man. So go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
So after Reno, we have won the championship. We have won it back to back, and then we were going for three-peat against Violet Kickers. And unfortunate, sometimes some decision made against you, and there are things that you have to live with. That's part of the sports. That's what makes the sports exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the VR thing now, I tell you that
If VAR was in.
if it was in, yeah, but see, I think they take away too much of the excitement from the game with the cameras and all of that. People used to enjoy because people have to make errors, Sometimes people have tried, sometimes people cheat in the game, and that's all part of the game. That's what makes the game exciting.
Yeah.
The
People were saying though that maybe if VAR was around, Reno would not have won because maybe Mark Hagler Wilson would have been getting some red cards because of how aggressive he was, and you was his captain. You were his captain.
Yes, man. And guess what? People can say all what they want, because every year, every year, or every decade, the sports gonna get more commercialized. So things are gonna change. The rules, they will make it much easier because some players were missing now played. They couldn't handle it first time.
Okay.
They could never handle the kind of football because those kind of football was so hard and tough and aggressive. First time we never knew anything about taking vitamins and taking this and taking that and go to the physio and go to the doctor. We play with bones, we play with all kind of ailments.
So there was so when Reno was winning those titles, you didn't have like a physio working with you or a doctor giving you vitamins and stuff?
No, we never had that. We had a muscle. Well, we make that muscle. He died years ago. We used to call him Baptist. We used to call him the Robot Man. Arnett Garden used to have one. Tivoli used to have one. Most of those teams used to have people like those. But we never used to call him physio. We call him muscle. Them just come and rub up your foot with things and stretch you and things and that. There's nothing, but we used to appreciate it anyway. So those days was really tough. The football was tough, man. Very tough. And after moving from Veer to Reno, win the championship, actually, there are not enough football playing in Jamaica now. There's a lot more football used to play in my time. And that's how I get called up for the national team. We used to have a thing named counties, where we used to play counties against counties. Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. So we used to have the Confed team, the three Confed plus Kingston and St. Andrew make up one. So we used to have a 4-team tournament at the national stadium. That's how I made the national team. I was playing for Western Confed. Me and Teagat Davis and Hector Wright and Winston Anglin, may his soul rest in peace. So we used to fight for our spot. We don't just get called up like that.
Oh, you'd have to fight for it. Oh, okay. You
have to fight for your spot. You have to work hard before you can get called. It's not like these guys now just play like a Premier League and just get called up. No, football used to play right around the year from one competition to another. So we were active. When you call up a squad, that squad is well oiled and ready. Because we used to play, we never used to stop competition after competition.
Okay, so you're playing for Reno, you're doing well. You have players like Michael Graham, Mark Hagler Wilson, Aaron Lawrence, Donald Hewitt, Easton Simmons, all of these guys, Cecil Pringle, Calvin Valentine. I mean, all of these guys.
Aaron Lawrence.
Yeah. All
of those guys. Yes, man. But as the leader, what I used to do, I used to have to set the example as the leader. When Downswell and Nicholson come at training in the evening time, we gone out 2 hours before the coaches them come there.
Okay,
so when you come at training, when you come through the gate and put on your gears, you start work. You don't sit down and wait for the coach to come to blow and whistle for start work. As you come, put your gears on and you start work. So any senior man come first, start the training until the coach come.
Okay, so before the coach come, 2 hours of training would have actually.
Yes, 2 hours actually, and then the coach take over and carry on for the next hour and a half. So we were like when you talk about conditioning, that we never shout to that.
One of the things that always... Sorry, go ahead, man.
I know I see some players can't even play for 45 minutes. And they're talking about they are playing Premier League. And you can't play for 45 minutes. After 30 minutes, you fall down and hold up your side and you this and you this and you... And you a joke, them a joke, man. Them not work hard. Them not take time out and work. But that we need to do. We need to stop, sit down and wait for the coaches. Because in Europe, most of the time in Europe, you know, the head coach, most of the time the head coach come for 15 or 20 minutes, go and deal with tactical things and them gone. So you have to know, say, listen, this is what I want, this is what I want to do. And you get out there and do the work. But there's no substitute for the work, you know.
Yeah, somebody's saying that the Confed teams used to play a franchise league against some Caribbean franchise too in the early 90s.
No, that was the Caribbean Pro League. They used to have a Caribbean franchise league, you know. And you had Kingston Lions and Waivers. Waivers is all the Western teams. And then the Kingston Lions, the Cassava and St. Catherine and Clarendon. So you have the Waivers team, and then you have the Kingston Lions team.
Okay.
So you used to have two franchises in Jamaica.
But what was it like, I mean, being a man from out west, going to play games in Tivoli in those times and Arnett Gardens and in those hostile environment back in the days?
That's why I'm saying now, it is much easier to play in the Premier League, because when you used to go to Boyz Town, not as much as Arnett Garden, but when you used to go to Boyz Town and Tivoli, it's hostile because them time you don't have any stands, you know, you just rope. Same thing at Reno. Those days we never have stands, we just have rope that right around the field that separate the spectators from the players. So you know you're at hand reach to the spectators. And it's very hostile. But guess what happened now? You see, as long as we have a referee, a competent referee inside in the middle, we don't worry. It's football, we come for play, so we're going to play. And a lot of times we go down to places like those, and all the spectators them start cheering for Reno, because the quality, the kind of football that we are playing. And they come out. There are some people that come out, no matter where them come from, you know, them come out to see good football. So when them acknowledge good football, them go and cheer for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you had like the Western Super Cup where you would have all of these Western teams playing, like what are the Reno Seba and Violet Kickers playing one competition. I think that would have been right before the Premier League start. You'd have the Western Super Cup. I mean, what were those days like for you? I mean, playing.
That was a preseason tournament. So you can actually set your team and know. So listen, we have a task, you know, that what other team or that Siva team or whatever team. So that's how you measure your team. That's how you measure your team. When you look at the preseason tournaments and go against them and realize, so listen, we have to go double up, you know, because that Siva team is not an easy team to get by. So we decide, so we'll start training morning and evenings. Working in the morning and then come back in the evening and put that extra work. Remember days gone by, we used to go down at the nigger, like, run the 7 miles, flatten out the 7 mile sands, especially when we hit the semifinals. Because one time they had Reno as the semifinal team. First time you could just put Reno in our semifinal spot before the competition start. But people going to know that Reno are going to get to the semifinal and that's it. But we came and we changed that. We went to 6 finals and we win 3. 6 finals and win 3.
Whoa.
And 3 run up and no other team in the competition. So you know that era when we had, because the team was young, we were teenagers, young players, and they stay there and play and develop, and we becomes a household name. Reno was like Stone Love, you know. We used to book out, you know, everybody around the country want us to come and play.
Whoa.
Everywhere you go, people asking for Reno to come and play.
Whoa.
And then we did it. I would have never win. One time we had 3 championships. We win the Premier League, we win the knockout, and then you had a competition named Champions of Champions.
Champions, yes.
Yes, you have the Kingston and St. Andrew champion against the Premier League, against the knockout champion. Because when they have the Kasafa knockout, so we had the competition named Champions of Champions, and we won that. So we won 3 championships in one season. So the team was doing well.
Yeah.
Well, I am machine. And then after making the national team, a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of sacrifice we go through. I've split. We used to sleep at the National Stadium from Kayama Trash. Sometimes we go to bed. Sometimes we go to bed without dinner.
Playing for the national team?
Playing for the national team, of course. Ask Teagat Davis, ask Hector Wright, ask Winston. If Winston Anglin was alive today, he could have testified to that. We go on trips. We go on tours already and come back. And no, when we come a stadium lock, we have to throw our bags over the fence and climb over the fence to get a sleep to go home the next day.
Whoa.
We used to do that just because we want the program. We want to build the program, make the people still the sacrifice and decide, say, listen.
So you guys never used to get pay so you can use your pay and go on the road and go buy some food or something?
Let me tell you this. When I used to play, we used to get 250 Jamaican dollars per week.
250 Jamaican dollars.
Ask Teagat Davis, ask Hector Wright, 250 Jamaican dollars. We used to. I mean, I have a friend.
Was that a lot of money? Because maybe some of us look back and say maybe that was a lot of money in your time.
Well, the only thing we used to do a Saturday evening time after we have training Saturday morning. Me and Hector Wright, one of my friend named Donovan Pantan, I used to play for Boyz Town, play for the national team also. We used to go up a leads, little leads and things, buy polo shirts and shorts.
Okay, but what year was that though when you're getting $250?
That was about 88, 89, 250
okay.
Jamaican dollars.
A week?
A week.
$50 a day.
Yeah, a lot of time we never used to get no dinner. They used to have a soup man in front of stadium there. Him used to help you out a lot. When him not sell off the soap, say half of the pot of the soap off the ball of them upstairs. So we just come and get it.
Whoa. So how would you travel? So how would you travel from Westmoreland to go and play like for the national team all the way in Kingston when those just the difficulty of those roads? Would the GFF send vehicles to pick up your guys? How would that work?
Bus we used to take. Bus. Our manager Bim Williams. That man, I will never ever stop talking about him. Him ensure that all the players from his club that representing the national team, he make sure he take care of them. When it comes to traveling and money for food and stuff, he never make we leave Westmoreland without having enough money in our pocket to go to Kingston because he knew of the situation when we get there. And we wanted to go. We never get called up and don't go to training. No care what the situation is. We were there training, no food, we still are trained. We're not going to stop. We're going to show them, so listen, we now make that difference. That's not the focus. The focus is to represent the country. We were proud. You just imagine when you come out at that national stadium and stand up and hear the national anthem and play, how proud you are in those days. And when you go back into your community, people say, it's national player, that proud how you feel. And that's what we were all about. Just playing for the country bring us joy. And we can just sit down at night time and talk from different clubs and reminisce and talk how we used to play against each other. That's what we used to love. And the love and the harmony was dear, togetherness. When we won the Shell Cup in '91.
And you were part of that team. So
I was part
tell us about that.
team. Yeah, I was part of it. that was a joy, man. When we won the Shell Cup, nobody ever think we could have, but we know what we had. I would decide, and Coach Carl Brown was onto us and ensure that we get the work done. And we start that campaign, 92 campaign, the World Cup, to try to qualify when the World Cup was going to play in the US, 94. We had that campaign. We never had the experience that would get the best of us. They never believe in us. If they had if corporate Jamaica did invest in that team. And then we went to the Gold Cup and came third. And people start opening them eyes.
Oh, you are also part of that. You're also
and
part
realize
of that
it can be done.
Yeah. You're also part of that Gold Cup team.
After that Gold Cup, yeah, and after that Gold Cup, then Rene Simors came in 94.
Oh, okay.
And then captain became the president and start of the dream. But we had a dream, but just we had different presidents and they tried, but I think the sponsorship was because when Mr. James and Mr. Tony James was the president, he tried his best. I think he tried his best. He do everything that's possible to ensure that the program.
I see someone is asking, sorry, and then I'll let you go, but someone is asking, two questions, but I'll just jump to this one. He's asking if you know Billy Griffiths, number one, and Skill Cole. And the second question is, he's asking if Bim Williams is the Chinese Jamaican from Great Jordan Street in front of Imperial Theatre.
Yes,
he is.
Bim Williams is the same Bim Williams.
Yeah, man, legend at Arena Football Club. Really the man who got them going and doing so well. I mean, transform Western football. Just a kind of love and investment in it. Yeah.
That's him. Same gentleman. Billy Griffiths. I've seen Billy Griffiths. I've seen Alan Skill Cole play.
Okay. All right. So continue because you were talking about the Gold Cup and Rene Simo is coming in and Tony James, trying to help out in terms of giving into the program. Right. So continue from there.
So when after that Gold Cup, Rene came, Captain Burrell, and they had the dream. Especially Captain had the dream from then, and he made it possible by getting all Rene came here and did is assembled teams and put the belief inside of the head of the players them and get corporate Jamaica to get behind the team, because the players were here from a long time ago. The players were here, but we just need somebody to organize and structure the thing the right way and make people believe. So listen, long gone those days where players used to play for the love of the sports. Remember, the players them have family now, so you have to decide.
Yeah.
So it's either you're going to devote yourself to the football, or you're going to look at a 9 to 5. And Rene make people believe. So listen, give them a chance. And they did, and we reached the World Cup in 98. It's no miracle. It's no miracle, It was ordained to happen because we had people before us the Alan Cole and all those players before. They had sacrificed too. They did what they had to do. They tried. But the time, them said nothing happened before the time. So Rene came and it happened. And we appreciate it.
We have a call or somebody want to probably speak it to, so let's take them from overseas and here. Hello, caller. Good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Good morning. I Am Sure Sports.
Yeah, man. Who we talking to?
You're talking to Drastic.
Drastic, yeah, man. Bless up, Drastic. You have a question for Palla Wilson?
Not a question, just to confirm with him that 80s and 90s football is a way higher level in Jamaica. That no, like if club playing football now in Jamaica and in the 90s, because I'm an 80s child, but when I was the early 90s, late 90s, if you look at a D-Cup player, a Money Cup player, you should come back in the community and you look at them now, looking at them. It's way different. They're way more advanced. nothing comparable. And I see the kids coming back now. They're money.
All right, Drastic, you can speak up a little bit because we're not hearing you, man. Talk. You have to talk loud like how you type, you know.
All right, yeah. I give a better now on it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So the players then in the late 80s and 90s were way better. Maybe you have less players, but they were individual players were way better. I could call some names that I, from the secondary side, from that side of the country, and I could see people play Money Cup in town and D Cup in the country, and the players were way better that time. I don't know why, but I keep telling the kids, the young people I speak to, that these players nowadays, I don't know, but they're not that skillful to me. They're not that aware of the game. The other players were way better.
All right, what do you have to say about that, Mr. Wilson?
Well, every year is different, There's some people who say the players back then was better. We probably have less players, but guess what used to happen? We probably have less. The more you play now, the better you're going to get, The more football you play, is the better you're going to get. But no, there's not a lot of football playing in the country anymore. That's not the problem. All right, look at the Costa Cup and Manning Cup. After you play the Costa Cup, where the players to go from there? After Manning Cup, where the players go from there? Most of them, you can count, you can look on one hand or two hands. Some players probably end up, 2 or 3 players end up at a club. But where the rest of players them go? Look how many teams in the Costa Cup and how many teams in the Manning Cup. Where they go to play football after schoolboy football. Most of them get stagnant, and then couple of years after, about 3 to 4 years after, them just come on the scene a year, so them this and them that. No, you have to continue to play the sports day in, day out. So if I'm one age group to another, because in my time we play schoolboy football, and at the same time when we play schoolboy football, we play Premier League football, and when Premier League football done, we play Parish League football. When Parish League football done, we play Confederation football. So it's football right around the year. So the players them must develop.
Yeah, you hear that, Carlo?
Yeah. I'm gonna really snip and back over. But another thing, man is bad. The JPL we have right now only playing 5 parishes. So we're not seeing the best of Jamaican footballers. I believe that the JFF should pick up in hands, because Kasafa is the one that they're afraid of. Kasafa is fighting against. But I'm not fighting against the JPL. They can still have the JPL, but I believe the JFF should start a new football league where they franchise out either team in major towns or to the parish with the people to buy in. And they have a league across Jamaica. At least one team in each parish across Jamaica. We have the feeder program under 20, under 16, and maybe a woman team also. That's the only way to go in Jamaica. Community type football, which we have, can sustain proper football and development of players. In a community type, 4,000 people in our community. Some community don't deal with each other. Then we have a parish team, our major town team. I think that's the way to go. And that's my saying.
All right, thank Drastic. You can listen in and I'll let Mr. Wilson answer to that. But thanks for calling in, and keep on watching the video and hit the like button. All right?
Yeah, man. Big show as usual.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Yeah, so he's saying that Drastic is saying, one of the person in the diaspora, he's saying that what we should do is have one team in each parish. Like you have a Westmoreland, St. Anne, Hanover, and you have a franchise. You can have other football, but those would be a top 14 teams. And then each of them must have under 20, under 17 female team and under 15 team. But he says that is what it would probably need to transform the football. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree, I agree. I remember the days. All right, people used to talk about sponsorship and crowd support. That's what most people talk about now. They're not having enough crowd support and sponsorship. But in our time, when we were playing, We never have no major sponsorship. Bim Williams was the only man that sponsored the team, but we had good crowd support. That's where we used to generate most of our funds. And then when you look in the countries, the football. When you look in the country, the football used to spread. Remember, you used to have a team from down Hanover play Premier League. You have about 4 teams from St. James play Premier League. You have team from St. Anne's play Premier League. You have 3 teams or 2 teams from Clarendon play Premier League. You have teams from St. Catherine play Premier League. You have team from Portland play Premier League. You have team from St. Mary. So what happened now? Look at it now. Most of the footballers confined to some places now. When you check it right now, Kingston and St. Andrew have most of the teams in the Premier League. About 8 teams out of the Premier League is from Kingston and St. Andrew. 1 team from Clarendon, 1 team from St. Anne's. So where the supports are gonna come from?
Yeah.
Tell me, the support. So the football is dying. The football is dying, because if you don't bring the sports to the people now will come to the sports. So you have to bring the sports to the people, and then you will get the support. A man now go say he want to watch a Premier League game. You think he want drive him car go to Kingston for go watch a Premier League team from St. Elizabeth? I'm not out of that. So if you bring the sports to the people, and the people will support you. The people will support you, because I remember going there. When you go to Jared Park first time, and they having a triple header, it's people on top of people, And every club that you see there have their own support. And everybody, when you come to gate receipts, everybody can tell you how much thousands of dollars they make. But I remember we had a game against them time there was Hazard. In Portmore, they are Hazard. And we go to Jamaica.
There were 2. There was Hazard and Galaxy in Clarendon at that time.
And then you have a team named
Kirkvine.
Wanderers, and they also have a team named Wanderers from Clarendon too,
Oh,
so you actually have 3 teams. And I remember we go down there, go play, and a bumper crowd when people they are mineralites. Traffic they are mineralites from mineralites to Jamaica Gate because of 1 football game.
Whoa.
So imagine, so the people them don't have the love beat because them take away the sports from the people. And in anything we do, if you don't have the people them support, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So what you have to do, bring back the sports to the people. Listen now, it's most grassroots people support football, Yeah. So if you take away that from the people, what will happen? Them not have no interest in it. Them not right. A man we have a last dollar a Savlamar and walk from Savlamar, go a Froome, go pay him last dollar to watch Reno play.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You understand what I say? So if you take away the sports from the people, we'll get the support for the sport. We don't have no corporate, we don't have no big corporate football. Corporate Jamaica, I'm gonna support the Premier League, the national team, Tell me which, and then you have 1 and 2 companies like the Digicels and the Flows and those companies will really support the football. Apart from those companies and the marketing they indeed for, apart from those companies, apart from those companies, we don't have no major sponsors.
Yeah. Somebody's asked. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, man. Finish up what you're saying.
So that's what we need to do. We need to bring back the sports to the people, to every crevice and corner.
Yeah.
Because whole heap of talented, in this country. But if you take away the football, the sports from the people, what you think? Them all lose interest. And now you go up on the corners, look at Savlamar, look what's happening in Savlamar when it comes to crime. When it comes to crime.
Yeah.
Because the youngsters then have nothing to look forward to. When I was a boy growing up in Savlamar, we never had crime was there, yes, crime always been around. But it's not because the youngsters them have something to look forward to. Every man has saving $1 for go off room Sunday. They don't have no time for the foolishness.
See somebody asking if you know this player named Deshane Beckford. He used to play for Russies, I believe, but he's now playing in the USL.
No, I can't. No, I don't remember that player.
He was part of that Aaron Lawrence coach Russies team, I think, that won the DaCosta Cup. But maybe I don't remember him. But then someone is also asking who are your 5 top strikers, and is still called the best ever Jamaican player you have ever seen. But in your years of playing, who do you rate as the top strikers in Jamaica? Or Jamaican in Jamaica? Just generally in terms of Jamaican football, who are the top 5 strikers that you'd say have passed through Jamaica?
All right, I think the top 5 strikers to me that I've seen in my observation and in my taking, I have to say Andre Andrews was one.
Yeah.
Paul Teagat Davis.
Yeah.
Nelson from Portmore.
Ryan Bumpy Nelson. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That guy is classical.
First from Constant Spring, then to Portmore.
Then to Portmore.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Tuffy Anderson,
Yeah, Tuffy
Anderson.
Yes.
Don't play with Tuffy Anderson, man. Don't play with him in front of that goal.
Okay, that's 4.
That's 4. Who else I can think of? Even Cape Donaldson, is a good striker,
Okay. Cape Donaldson.
Cape Donaldson.
Carntail. The late Carntail. Yeah. Oh, well, that is strange because people are going to say, I'm the call Walter Boyd. I'm the call Reggie Creed. I'm the call.
To me, those players.
Yeah.
To me, those players are not really strikers,
Right,
they are providers. I would call those players a Reggie Creed, a Walter Boyd. They are providers.
Okay, when you talk about striker, you're talking about those persons who knock the ball in the goal. But you don't call one arena best. People say one arena's best is Michael Jim Dandy Graham.
Michael Jim Dandy Graham, but there are people that they are ahead of him,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, my name here, I'll call you and say.
I'm a friend. I didn't know that. I'm a friend.
And then you have Devon. Devon Jared call and say, look how much time he kill you when I play for one other man.
No, man, that's it's everybody at the time, But I gotta tell you, the reason why even with Andre,
yeah.
You see, I'm the only striker me ever see kick the ball from under him foot. You have people who put the ball in front for striking. Him can just dribble the ball and just release it from under him foot. You don't even know. That's why I'm scoring so much goal. And the goalkeeper, them not even ready when them all kick. Because them don't expect them all kick. Him just dribble the ball and kick it just effortless.
Yeah. Somebody is saying that. Yeah. Owen Smith is here saying that you need to be on the JFF competitions committee.
Yeah. I don't mind because I tell you that. You see, I've learned the game as a player, and I've learned the management part of the sport. I learned the administration part of the sport. I can tell you that when I was at the national team, I used to actually be the assistant manager with Mr. Reid, Horace Reid.
Okay.
But those days when Carl Brown bring Mr. Reid as the manager of the national team, that time Mr. Reid was working with Ray and Neville. So most of the time when Mr. Reid come and give Palla the money, we spend it. So even I'm a friend. I have a lot of respect for that gentleman. Him teach me a lot. About the sports, especially the administration part of sports. Mr. Reid. Him teach me a lot.
And just let the people know that you're a coach now as well, because they don't know that. I mean, probably some of them don't know that you're a coach, but you're a coach now, right, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, I am a certified coach. I have my advanced level 2 in coaching here in Jamaica. I've been to a few clubs. I've been in the Premier League. I've been into the Super League. I've coached high schools. I'm a coach who like to help. That's why probably win no major championship yet. Because I don't like to go to the teams that are on top of the world, are on top of what. I like to go to teams that need help. So most of the time, the teams that let me end up are teams that need help. So I always try to go there and fix whatever is there to fix.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, what are your thoughts on Craig Foster?
Craig Foster. I think Craig Foster was a good goal scorer, you know. But I think what prevent Craig from even achieve more is, I think, is because I'm work rate on the pitch. I think with a player like that, I think he didn't need to do a little bit more on the pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that's what ended him from achieve what him really, because listen, there are youngsters like that at top. Every season he come, if him not win the goal scoring, him in the top 2 or the top 3. So he must have something about him. Yeah, man. And him smart. That's why him score so much goal. Him very smart with the ball.
Went to a good school, man.
Yeah, well, I agree. But all of us gonna end up there because it's school gonna hold so much students.
but somebody's also asking, you, how come you never mentioned Sweetie Simit when you were mentioning your forwards, when you say that he's one of the best players you have ever seen, but he never played forward.
No, he never played. He's a midfielder. Sweetie Simit is a midfielder.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will think say I'm a striker, but the amount of time him get into the box and the amount of goal him score. But he's a midfielder.
Yeah, man. People remember Trickney Cooks is in the house. Remember, I mean, this video is sponsored by Trickney Cooks. So to get 25% discount on all Trickney product, just enter the code I am sure sports 001 and check them out. All right. Someone is also asking about Michael Tolo as a forward. I think Michael Tolo play for the JDF. At one point.
Play for the JDF, play for the national. I play with him at the national team also.
Yeah, he was on the national team with you.
He with me, yes.
People always tell me that he heads the ball like he's kicking it. Is that true?
Well, when it comes to heading that ball, you can't. There's no way. I haven't seen a man. The only person I ever see match up to him when it comes heading the ball is Mark Hagler-Wills.
Okay.
But Michael Toller is a very good player when it is airborne. Very good player.
All right. So let's get a couple more. Let me ask you now, for the person who come to you and say, Palla, so many great players, so many of you are coach. Aaron Lawrence is a coach. You're a coach. You have Wendell Downswell still in Westmoreland. You have Michael Graham is a coach. Patrick Graham is a coach. Godfrey Drummond is a coach. So what is happening with Reno? Why Reno has been in the doldrums for so long, can't even get back in the Premier League when you have Manning's High School, Frome, you still have Rossies producing, winning the Costa Cup going on. You have Godfrey Stewart, you have Petersfield, you have Belmont, you have such a Little London, you have such a Green Island, such a wide group of people to select from. Why hasn't Reno been able to come back in the league and stay in the league?
Well, long and short of that is, to me, in Westmoreland right now, there's too much division in Westmoreland. It's a power struggle in Westmoreland football right now. A lot of people don't think about the parish itself. Them think about themselves, what they can achieve. And that's how I see Westmoreland football go. You see, the present president, I have nothing against him, Mr. Tomlinson is my friend. Very good friend. We used to play. We used to play at schoolboy. We used to play in the Premier League. But listen, him have good ideas. But him have to understand, say, the parish bigger than all the way. The football bigger than all the way. I'm very proud of him. You see what he have done with Lynval?
Yes.
That should have done long time ago. So I have to give him credit for that. That place supposed to belong to Reno. That place supposed to belong. Reno supposed to have a mini stadium out of that place, out of that complex. Is Reno supposed to own that own that
But
company.
they're saying
But I
that
don't know
Reno,
what.
they're saying that Reno should own Frome. Why Reno allow Frome to reach the state that it is right now? That football can't play over there right now. They're saying that is where Reno should have owned, because that is where your picture should be in the stadium up by Frome and Michael Graham and Donald Hewitt, the Cape Donaldson, Wappy Valent. All of these pictures should be painted on the walls of the stadium at Frome pavilion named after you guys. So why isn't that happening?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of things. You say administration, and there's some people who think they have the know-how. A lot of people think they have the know-how, you know. But it's the club now go dead. No matter what. The club, Reno will be back. Reno will be back, man. Somehow, Reno will be back, because we have me and Mr. Downswell, we have dialogues. Now and again we have dialogues, and we share ideas and where we like the club move to and where to. But the club, Reno will be back, man. A couple of years from now. There's a couple of years, because I know Mr. Downswell really love the club, and he wants the best thing to happen for the club. But sometimes, sometimes you want it to happen, but you have to just get some people who willing and want to. It's like I want to serve the club. I am always available. I love that club so much. You know how much time, when I play for Reno, how much different clubs approach me and ask me to come, want me to come and play, and want me to do this. No, Reno. You see, the thing is, the reason why we leave Westmoreland, is because them youngsters down at Westmoreland right now, we can't manage them. At my age, I don't want to have no tussle with them. So you know what I do? Check for myself, brother. I'm here in St. Elizabeth now, and I don't have to look over my shoulder. And you know me as a man, me as a peace person. You ever hear me have a fight with no man? Me not have a fight with. As me not have that time, but the way I see the place down there behave. The only thing can save that parish right now, are the sports.
Is the sports, yes. So
Yeah,
Karumi, who is a coach up there in Kingston, he's asking, what do you think of our state? What do you think of the state of our youth football in Jamaica right now?
We need more.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
You said the thing when I think with the youth football, there's no continuity. There's at this age level, then it jump and gone at that age group. Then we have to continue football for the youngsters to develop. Football have to play right round the year. We have to find some ways of making them play football right through the year.
Yeah,
so that's the only way you're going to develop, if you keep playing over and over and over and over.
Right. So the other thing is that, yes, Tennessee, Lynval Wilson did play with Denden Hutchinson. Denden Hutchinson was a part of the Reno team. So they did play together at Reno.
Dennis Hudson.
Oh, Dennis Hudson, you're talking at Denden Hutchinson, because this person is asking about Denden Hutchinson.
Denden Hutchinson used to play for Clarendon College and I think Tivoli.
Okay. All right. And then this person is asking that, I mean, if you're able to, how would you reform the JFF electoral process in order to put Jamaica football truly first? Any ideas that you have that would help to, like I said, reform football in Jamaica, where, like I said, that there's more continuity with the football and the governance structure is changed? Any thoughts on that, seeing that you said that you have been in the management aspect of football?
I think for the football, I think the process of selecting the body at JFF, I think the clubs them need to have. The clubs them, remember, so the clubs them are playing.
Yeah.
So the clubs them need to get involved. You see, at the parish level, all the clubs them need, same like how you do it at the parish level, where you have the clubs them select the president and whatever. We need not only the presidents and the executive and the JFF must have a vote. Every club that in the Premier League must have at least 2 votes also, along with the parish president and his executive. It can't just leave to one set of people, Because guess what? Because guess what, Most I hear Paul posted something the other day on the other program there.
And the coach's desk, yeah, man.
Yes, which is right. And I support him. We need more voices in order for the thing. Because me can have an idea, you know, you have an idea, we put those two ideas together. Just the interest and the benefit of the sports. You can't just leave down to one set of people.
Okay, so you'd expand the amount of votes from just the 13 right now to...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we need more ideas and more people involved in the whole process and thing. That's an interesting idea. Very interesting idea. I think that's really what we want and what we need to see. People, listen, please hit the like button. This is a legend. I mean, he has given us his time. I mean, champion at Veer, champion at Reno, champion with the national team. Now, what are your thoughts on the present national team? I mean, do you still believe we have an opportunity to qualify for the World Cup? I mean, and just what are your thoughts on the present team and the performances so far?
I think we have a good of a chance on any other team that are there.
Yeah.
We have a chance as any. We have 5 points now, and we have a spot probably about 3 points. So it just need 2 consecutive wins to turn it around, and it is right there. The problem that I think the team had the other day, I think we were trying too hard to break that ice, and we put ourselves, the players themselves put themselves under pressure, you know, because we lose and people start quarrel and make nice. No.
Yeah.
It's a long, rough
All right.
road.
We have a caller from Georgia, so let me just take him and hear what he has to ask you. Caller, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Sir. Hear what I say. I used to remember the days when I used to go to, I don't have Palla, I remember when Arena used to come to the track. Those days you used to do good football play. I'm telling you, you put that joy to watch Reno them days. I used to love Reno. What you might think now? The same thing where Palla said. They don't have a program where the ballers they leave Manning Cup and League Cup to play up that skill. So you can have a nursery, you can produce the players them when they come out, so when they come out of the school, look how much ballers I know when they League Cup and Manning Cup. How do you know them again? Like keep on doing what is in place to keep these young ballers to train them, to nurture them. What is in place? What system is in place for that?
Well, that is what Palla is saying now. He's saying that there's nothing, there's no continuity.
And that is true. Because we see because he said, look at the players I see come from B Cup. Even back in the days, 80s, 90s, a lot of talented players left B Cup and Manning Cup. And we don't hear about them again. And we don't see no system that is put in place. We say, well, we're going to train these ballers and, you know, these ballers will come up and play with Jamaica. And we don't see nothing like that. And so that's why we keep struggling year after year when the World Cup come on to qualification. We can't find players. There's something have to put in place to keep these players, to nurture them. Because we don't have to go far and go get England and get our players completely beside it. The players are right here can do it. You see? So they have to start working on something, man, because they can't go out.
It's the same thing I'm saying.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks, caller, for calling. Go ahead, Mr. Wilson, and then I will introduce our next guest. Go ahead.
Same thing I'm saying. You know, we went to 2 youth World Cup, don't it?
Yeah, 3,
Understand?
two under 20 and under 17.
All right. And where are those players now?
Good question.
How many of those players are in the national setup right now?
Good
How
question.
many? Where are they? That's the same thing. Those players that went to the under 17 or even the under 20, we're supposed to have at least. They're supposed to be the nucleus of the national team now. They're supposed to be, you know, but where are they? How many of them in that makeup?
Yeah, good question.
We have to be running around. Well, you see, the thing is now, I think what the JFF should have done a year ago, you see all the selection of the players them that should have been done. Give the coach the squad a year ago so the man can settle him team and know him players them inside out. What I found, they keep on forcing players onto the coach. Keep forcing players. The selectors them every time them hear about one player up at Timbuktu, then run gone fame. I know so it work. You look for players that can fit your program.
Yeah,
I say you build a team. You can't just go for your household, then pushing on too much players onto the coach. That's where the problem is. I'm sorry for the coach, You think it's an easy job that every minute. Don't tell me say it's a coach. I call the players. No. The selectors them as them here said Tom Brown round us or Harry Jones round us, them go around us. It look good to who? It look good to them, but probably not look good to the coach. So if you give the coach, if you have given the coach a 30-man squad, take a time because you have at least 2.5 years to look at players,
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you try for though? You try to get the players which when the World Cup come around.
So what? Let me just make it clear because your suggestion is that from 2.5 years ago, all the players that Tapper would want from England and all the players from Jamaica, wherever in Europe, all of them should have been brought together from 2 years ago.
Of course.
Okay.
And you will have right now, this dilemma,
Because some of the times, let me just say this because some of the times you have people listening, and here's the thing: as soon as you say get players in their head, oh, he doesn't want any English players, when you never said anything like that. What you're saying is that 2 years ago, the Jamaica Football Federation should have gotten all the players, whether they are from England, whether they are from Timbuktu, whether they are from wherever they are from, get them together, give them to the coach so he can work with them. Instead of waiting until a week before the game, you bring in the players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you must remember, we don't really have a football culture like the Brazil and the England and those countries, They grew up into a system because they have so much academy and they preach and teach the same thing right from 5-year-old until they becomes adult. So they have a culture. So it not take no time for them fit. Remember, this is a third world country, This is not a first world country, What you think? What you think Rene Samores did? Rene Samores started his campaign from 94 and get to the World Cup 98.
I think that is the problem.
Him have a nucleus of players that him been working with from day one. And then when it comes to the final, him get a few players to put the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Because what will happen is while I agree with you, because the truth is that the team, and I think that whether you agree with the coach or not, you cannot be like a day before or a week before getting in players. These things should be known. And one of the things I like that what you said is this, that you should get players who fit your system. But people are saying that there's no system. So how you going to know what players to get if you have no system? Hold on, Mr. Wilson, because I don't want Mr. Campbell. I don't know if you know who is the third person. The third person, people, is the infamous Mr. Clive Busy Campbell. You understand me? He's here in the house, so we soon hear from him. But answer that question, Mr. Wilson, and then we go invite Mr. Campbell to come and talk to us. Go ahead.
So how you think the coach are gonna have a system if you don't get the players them on time so the coach can work on what he work on? Which system are gonna work if the coach don't have the time for work? You're not gonna able to have a system. It's just what Mr. them are trying to do to the coach, a semblance them are dealing with.
Yeah. We have a next call coming in, so we take it and then we go to Mr. Campbell. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Yes. My question to
yeah, man. What's the name? What's the name, man? What's the name, caller? Rudy from New York. Go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah, I was the one who asked him earlier to name the top 5 striker.
Okay.
And I wanted to know. He didn't answer part of the question because I wanted to know if Alan Skillcole is Jamaica greatest baller ever. If he thinks Alan Skillcole is Jamaica greatest baller ever. And the next question I have for him, I want his honest opinion. What do he think about the Jamaica?
Sorry, I didn't hear the second question, caller.
I said I want to know what does he think of the Jamaican national team inviting the foreign-based players to play for Jamaica?
All right then.
And the other question is, I'm listening to him and I hear they talk about how dedicated they are, like him, Hector Wright, T-Gat Davis, all of them. And I've listened to a lot of different platforms, and all of them seems as if they are saying most of them seems like they don't appreciate the players coming in from England.
All right.
And most of them talk about how good they are, how good they were, and this player was good and this player was good. So I want to know how comes if they were so good in their days, how come we had so much failed campaign prior to 1998?
All right. I think all right. So let me just, because the only question where English persons were brought up in the discussion, as far as I know, is just a while ago. They were talking about they were getting 250 sleeping on Kaya mattress because they were dedicated to Jamaica. I don't know if that was
no, but I'm not addressing today.
Okay.
On the utterance that I hear from them, they're not saying it straight up, but you can tell based on how they talk.
All right. So what I'm asking, but Palla, to be fair to Mr. Wilson, tell me, you're saying that he said. You are saying that
no, I'm not saying he said. I'm saying based on his utterance.
But
I am telling you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hold on. All right. So all right. Listen, caller. Then I think he's going to answer. So just listen up. All right.
Caller, listen. At no point I have that the host asked me what happened in my days. How was we handling the situation? How was we handling the situation in our days? And I was explaining to him that we used to sleep on all Kaya mattress. We used to go to bed without dinner. We used to go train without lunch. So there's no way that utterance could ever say that we don't appreciate English players or overseas players. Because in my time, we had overseas players. We have Peter Isaac used to the university, Howard University in the States. And he used to come and join Peter Cargill one time the day at Israel. So we used to have one player where Jeffrey Maxwell we used to call him the pudding baller from England. So we never had nothing against overseas player. As long as you're eligible to play for the country, I have no problem. As long as you can help us, I have no problem. The ultimate is to get to the World Cup. I'm going to make all of us happy. All of us going to proud. And that's what I'm all about. I'm not worried about where you come from. That have nothing to do with me.
Listen, so let me tell you this, Mr. Wilson. And one of the things I'm doing is that there are certain people, certain youngsters, let me say that they have a narrative that no matter what the former baller says, they have a preconceived idea that everybody who played football for Jamaica hate English players. And so once you say anything that if you come on and say, listen, I love Jamaica, in their head, you're saying that those other people, that and that is not what I can say. You may have heard that elsewhere, but nothing that was said today suggested anything remotely close to that in any of this discussion. And so we need to be fair and honest in our dialogue. It was not. All right. No, if you want to ask, we can ask Mr. Wilson the question, which is, do you have a problem with players? I know you answer it again, but I want you to categorically state if you have a problem with what people are saying, with the English players coming in to play for Jamaica.
I always said, if we have 20 English players that make up the squad that can take us to the World Cup, I have no problem. My ultimate goal is to do it. Get to the World Cup. Qualify for the World Cup. So it doesn't matter who brought us there. I go out and support them. every time that we have overseas players, me dying for see them play for Jamaica. Every time I hear other player going to get called up, me can't wait for see him. Say, yes, this man can help us. Get him in. I always support English-based player. I don't have a problem where you come from. If you even come from Japan, as long as you can play for Jamaica, it doesn't matter to me. Because suppose my son was living in England or living elsewhere and him can play for Jamaica, I'll be happy. So it doesn't matter where you come from. As long as you come and wear the national color, I have no problem with you or where you come from or which club you come from. I always gonna appreciate you. And me, I gonna tell you thanks for come try help us.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we're going to invite Mr. Wilson. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple other questions, but we're going to invite Busy because I don't want him to be here. Do you know Busy? Do you know each other?
Of course, man.
All right, Mr. Campbell, what say you?
Good day to you and your viewers and your listeners. And it's good to hear Palla Wilson speaking about football. At this time, football, Heroes Day I'm speaking. Today's Heroes Day. I want to think of it, Jamaica football. Do we have a system? Also, I believe, I'm going to say it is a general statement, there's too much corruption. And corruption is uncurable. But we need people who have the will to try and minimize it in our football. Because all I see it is that the hustlers. I have a great amount of respect for the president now. I can tell you that. And he said to me a couple of years ago when the past president passed away that he would do things differently. He started off when we were helping the Reggae Girls send off in Miami 2019. When I was up there with them, there was this PFAJ that they got rid of, which I said I think is on the right path. But since I didn't know there was a plan to get rid of the other party, PLCA, I'm just showing you I'm not a politician, I'm a human. Now for Jamaica football to go forward, I'm hoping and I'm praying. Tap up with more a youngster that I can say I have a great amount of respect for. But he has to be careful who he has around him. And I believe there's people now who find themselves into the position to be calling shots. And he has to be careful. And he must be conscious in everything he's doing and very, very careful. Now, we're talking about the World Cup qualifiers. Let me just go back into history and you can know where I'm coming from. Way back in the 62, George Pena came here as a Brazilian first to try to get us qualified to go to England. And when he came, I believe our football standard raised. After he left, came back. Tassi came back from Haiti, but he came back. And the association at the time used to give him players. And then he would realize it's not the way he wanted. So he would go at a couple of matches and look. And that's how a friend of mine named Dan Clark, one of the best goalkeeper Jamaica produced, became into the squad because he saw them. Now, 30 years after, 1994, being the league director for the National Premier League, a lot of people would know. But when any Simoes, people say Rennie, I say any, you know what I mean, any Simoes, came to Jamaica, there was an individual that was very, very instrumental to get him coming here, David Orton. And David Orton knows about football. And that's the reason why the president took him to Brazil to choose someone. When Simoes came here and he saw me, you know what he said? Oh, my first friend, my first Brazilian friend. But they didn't know that he was the one who came here in 1987 with Leonardo as a captain of the Under 20 Brazil team and Marcelino. And they beat us a Santos Invitational team on Sunday. And the Monday, I followed him to Cayman. And I said, bye. I didn't know he was the one who was coming back 94, 7 years after. And being a league director, I said to him, we discussed football. And I said, it would be good for you to go around and don't let them give you players. You go and see for yourself, some of the players. And I remember I mentioned to him, Olympic was playing Major League. And there was this individual, Goodison. And he accepted Goodison. And said, yes, he can be a part with defense-wise. But right now, I've seen the Jamaica Football Federation is being run. It needs to be revamped, change, and find people who really mean the football and not hustlers. People who volunteer, because there are people before did that. I've seen a couple people get rich out of football, I can tell that. And there's couple I know lost a lot. But I remember listening to one individual who I've seen now involved, said he won't make football do to him that he has done to someone else who was a founder of a club. And I said to him, Bob Marley said, time alone will tell. That's what I said to him, time alone. I will share this with you because it is important. 2004.
Mr. Campbell. All right, so we have hold on. We have Diego Ogilvy. I know Mr. Wilson will have to leave. So I have Diego Ogilvy from New York, right? Say no, Palla. Diego Ogilvy, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. I know you have a couple of questions. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's Palla there.
Yeah, man.
Palla Wilson there.
Palla Wilson is still here. Yes.
Palla, the might not know the issue. You probably don't remember that you came to New York with my side Caribbean United with Wayne Graham, short of voodoo, and you win the championship for us, playing an immaculate centre half. Do you remember that, Mr. Wilson? Hello?
Oh, hold on, Diego. Go ahead, Palla. We didn't hear you. Go ahead. He's asking if you remember that, Palla. Go ahead. We never hear you.
Yeah, man. I remember that, man. That was. I hear what you said. I remember that, man. That same year we were in the qualification.
Ask him again. Is he hearing me?
No, man. He's answering.
But I am not hearing him then. I'm not hearing him.
Yeah, you're not hearing him because don't worry yourself. You can always listen, but he's answering the question. So, do you have any?
Okay, does he? All right. So you remember the championship?
Yes, man. He remember. Yeah.
So does he remember me? Diego, the big brown man. If you remember me, I was the assistant them time because I wasn't running the side back then. Does he remember me, Diego?
He's asking.
Man, I remember you.
Yes, he said he remember the fat brown ugly fellow.
All right. So then, if him can't hear it, well, I guess if me can't hear him, then it don't make sense, man.
You're not hearing him?
No, me not hearing him.
Okay.
I hear. Yeah.
But he's hearing. So what you can do, Diego, you can ask the question and then you know what you can listen up. You can listen. You can hang up and then listen. Just ask the question and then you can listen. Yeah.
Well, basically, does he keep in touch with Wayne and Short of Voodoo?
No,
right, he says no.
No, not really. The only person.
Tell him say no more then. When I come down and link you, we gonna link him directly.
All right then, Diego, not a problem.
What Premier League team is he coaching now?
He's coaching at the high school level now.
Which one?
Mr. Wilson, which high school you at now? He's asking which high school team you're coaching at.
Spalding's High School in Manchester, Clarendon there.
Spalding High School.
So hold on, I didn't mention high school. He went to Manning's with you, in your school?
No, he went to Veer. He won the Augusta Cup with Veer, with Elder Map and all of those big footballers when they defeated Clarendon College with Paul Teagat Davis.
Hey.
Yo, man, because Manning's man can't produce them quality ball and them man like Palla Wilson, man. Manning's man not produce them kind of ball and them man.
Mr. Ogilvy, thanks for your time. Go and listen to the rest of the program.
All right, we go Palla.
Hey.
You know you're the greatest. We link.
All right, here you go.
Yo, Manning's man.
Go ahead, man.
Shall I tell you can't get Diego my number, man.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely do that for him to call you.
All right. And Uncle Busy. Manning's man. A decade, me know Uncle Busy. Me know Uncle Busy from me I go to school.
Okay.
Bob
Okay.
Campbell,
Respect all the
Uncle Busy knows say Bob Campbell, I'm a coach, Bob Campbell, I'm a teacher. Me I go to Santos with Bob Campbell for me at 15, 16-year-old. Me I go around Santos, Jackie Bell. Them man they, oh gosh man, me I tell you say, Jackie Bell, Vernon, all of them man there. Me say that's why me have so much knowledge of them man them I learn from. That's why me have so much knowledge of the sports. Because me is a old school. Me is a old school. You see what I do? I work with a lot of different coaches in Jamaica, you know. Because knowledge can't be too much. You understand? So when someone come out and attack up this and attack, there's a lot of people. Same thing with Father Busy I say. There's a lot of people not into the sports for what it is. It's for their returns. I don't know lie myself.
Yeah. So what I'm going to answer the question there and then we'll come back to Busy. Palla. And maybe I don't know if how long you can stay after this, but someone is asking, of all the players presently and in the past who have come from England to represent Jamaica, who would you say is the best one in your opinion? Maybe is one in the team now or one in the team before? And what are your thoughts on like a Ravel Morrison? I don't know if you have ever watched him. Someone, a female, is asking that question. But who is the best player out of England you have seen?
I think my best player will come out of England during the World Cup campaign with René S'mores and thing. I think when you put all of them together, I think Dean Burton will serve us very well.
Okay. Yeah, man. Have you ever watched Ravel Morrison? What are your thoughts on him?
He's a good player, no. I think he's a good player, but I think, you see, how I assess people, I give you time. Especially when you play, and I'm talking about playing for your club, you know. Playing for your club different from when you're playing for your country, you know.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing for your club, you're already in a system where them inject you into that system. And you've been doing that over and over for a little while, don't it? So you automatically going to understand how the system is within the club. But coming to play for your national team is total different thing. Because look at Antonio. Look how well the young man look at him club at West Ham. Look how many goals him score. Look how much time I see him turn and shake people and kick the ball in the back of the goal. All those players then, that's what I am saying. If they have given the coach all those players 2.5 years ago, we went into this. Because quality players, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, they are quality players. Everybody that they brought, they are quality players. But remember, like we always have said, we don't have the kind of culture. So we have to give them time.
Time to, okay.
Give the coach time with the players.
Okay.
Because the coach learned from the farmer, the coach learned from in captain, the coach learned from René, you know. So you think the coach, and the coach went to the World Cup, so the coach know exactly what he wants. But you have to give him time. You have to give him time with the players. But you can't just come with 10 players this week. Next week, you see a next 10 players come. Then the following next, you're going to confuse the man. What kind of system he can develop? What kind of system he can develop?
Yeah.
He need time with the players, man.
Yeah, man. All right. Mr. Busy, you were at 2004. Mr. Wilson, I know at some point you have to run. So
well,
if you have to,
yes, that was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, man. So good have.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, brother. And just more love. Continue to do what you do. Yeah,
man. Thank you so much. It was a real joy having you. And I mean, I hope, like I said, Reno can come back to prominence in 2 years' time, like you suggested, because Westmoreland need a transformation with all that is happening. Again, thank you so much, and you know we appreciate you're representing the country and kind of laying a foundation for this generation of great talent can come and build on and bring us to even higher and greater success. So, take care, and again, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Mr. Campbell, right, so let's continue with you because you're at 2004. Yeah.
I don't like Mr. No, but they're just busy.
you know that's a problem. You always have it. You know, me always have that. I can't help myself.
mother born and name Clive and everybody give me name as busy as a youngster. Anyhow, it's just fun I'm making. 2004, I don't know. I have to share this with you and a lot of people who might be hearing or seeing.
Yeah, man. Everybody hearing and seeing you.
A Trinidadian said to me, I'm very close to Trinidad. I used to go there almost every year when West Indies cricket play and you know, Gally Cummins, my good friend. And I remember one of them said to me, busy boy, we're going to the World Cup, you know. So when he said that, I said, oh, are you going to going to the World Cup? Because I tell him since 1982, I don't make no predictions in football. But he said he's going to, Trinidad going to the World Cup. And I said, I thought it was 2006. And I said, so you going 2000? He said, no, 2010. And if I'm not mistaken, did Trinidad went to the World Cup 2010?
2010, yes. Yeah, they did.
So when he said that, he said, look, let me tell you, Trinidad, we know the man at the top is not so straight. I don't call the name. But at least he built 5-minute stadium. But Jamaica, you went to the World Cup 98. What you build? 5 bakeries. I laughed. And now I realized what he was saying. And it's a fact. Nobody can hide that. Now, Jamaica, we should have football venues, fields that in Westmoreland.
Somebody correcting us that Trinidad went to the World Cup in 2006, not 2010.
6? Well, no, yeah. It was 2000. When it was 2002 was a World Cup.
1998 and then 2002, then 2006.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was somewhere around that time he was telling me.
Yeah.
And I was saying, no, you can't. You know, you have to.
So yesterday the person said that the man at the top of Trinidad built 5 stadiums. The man at the top of Jamaica built 5 bakeries.
Yeah, that's it. And I started to laugh. And he called out everything. When he called out and him say 1, 2, 3, and him say and came on, I was a bit taken aback. He know much about our football. But he was so involved with Trinidad football. And I said to myself, that man, I'll never forget what he said. Oh, Jamaica is gonna be like, we have to have a system. We have to have like I look at the young man like Dig Henry down in the West. He served that confed so good. Down that area, you should have a person there, lays with the national coach with the youngsters. You should have in like East Central, whatever, you know, different areas. Like we have so much different confed, Kasafa, South Central, West. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then get them together. We have no system. I know where we are now, and I hear people do a lot of talk and this. Luck can attend you in football, yes, but how long will it attend you to?
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. As a former player, I believe in one thing that will never change. When I have the ball, the other team cannot score. You hear me? And it's when we give away the ball. And I tell you why I said that. We're playing a game at the stadium and Alan Cole was a part of it. Santos playing against the regiment. It was in the 60s, 68.
When I say the regiment, remember we're not that old, you know, we don't have a clue what the regiment mean, you know.
All right, the JDF, the Jamaica Regiment, you have Constantine and those people. But what happened, Chung, for at halftime, they were leading us halftime. And, you know, Chung, you would give people talk. You can talk. Any player can talk. And David Lag and I went to Vauxhall, grew up playing, you know, Aguilar football and all. And I remember when he talked and then I said, never. I don't call Chung. I said, never. Let me tell you this. If we have the ball, regiment can't score. It's when we give away the ball. Laggy and Alan, he saw them keep the ball. And him say, you're right. We went out and we won. You understand? That year we won in Division 1 and we won the senior knockout. But presently, my heart bleed when I see things happening in our football, you know. I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And even my comparison with players, I don't like to. I give them like a 10, 15 year span between that time, who to me was the most outstanding player. You understand?
Okay.
That's how I do it. And one thing I can say, commitment in 94 when Simons come here with 3 English youngsters, because I was a league director for Premier League, and when they came here, they paid their way here because they wanted to represent Jamaica. Now, when I see people going and they're picking up all different people and say they're bringing them on, the coach have to accept them. You hear me? Have to accept them. I say, where is our football going? And we can only hope and pray. Because what happened if we don't make the round? We should be thinking about 4 years' time. And I can tell you this. This is one player I can tell you when I saw him about 2-3 years ago. You see that youngster named Topi?
Yes.
Topi is as good as any of those person from England when they come to play certain position. Because a little friend of mine named Jamaica, when he was about 4-year-old over basics for Waterford, I identify him. And I didn't realize it was him until he was at Camperdown. I could see, you can see something like a tree. You have a plant and water it. And that youngster to me was one of the most outstanding player. And him not playing.
Wouldn't you say that he has the potential? He has the potential, but he's not there yet. Because to be fair, Topi, watch this. Topi is not better than right now. No, what I'm saying is that Topi is not better than Ethan Pinnock right now or Liam Moore. He's not even better than Damian Lowe right now. But does he have the potential? I think so.
You're talking about potential. I saw that talent 3 years ago and it has been proven. That youngster can stand up with any one of them. I'm telling you that. Not because I'm not playing in a league up there, but put them to play against each other. I wish I could have a team. I'm not a big coach. And put them on my team with some good players. I'll play against those and then you'd see the difference. I saw him playing Premier League. And I'm telling you.
All right, but Damian Lowe is playing in Egypt. Damian Lowe is not far, a little older than Topi. Damian Lowe. Let's use Damian Lowe. For us to say that Jamai Topi right now playing at Cavaliers.
Me. Not for us to say me. I am saying that.
No man, that is your opinion. No man, fine, because we all have our opinion, But even if it is your opinion, which is fine, let's put some things out there. All right. So he's playing at Cavaliers. I believe that for 2026, he needs to develop and probably he can move into Europe. I do believe that he's a talent because I think he's a good player. And when he went to that under 20 championship recently, he did very well. But I am not going to go as far as to say that he is right now, he can do what Ethan Pinnock is doing, who just had a good game in the Premier League, playing against top quality players. I'm not going to say that he's better than a Liam Moore. I'm not going to say that he's better than a Mariappa or a Damian Lowe. What I will agree with you is that if he develops and continues to improve, he has the potential in 2026 to be an important part of our campaign. I think that is more acceptable to say, in my opinion.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You saw Aston Villa play yesterday? West Ham, sorry.
Yes, I saw West Ham play.
Who Antonio play for?
West Ham.
All right. And you as a Jamaican assessing, looking at him, what you would say?
I've never judged people based on one game, I've been watching Antonio. Watch him. I've been watching Antonio, and I can say this to you, that Antonio is a quality player. That if he's put in this team, this national team right now, with players around him in a good system, he is lethal enough as a forward to bring us to the World Cup.
You hear the word he used a while ago? You hear the word he used a while ago, good system, right?
Yes.
Use that term, good system. Well, I'm saying to you, I am open. I'm saying that he's committed. You hear me? And he will deliver. And he will deliver. I am open.
Yeah, but the truth is,
listen, a lot of people, that's a big talk when he was to come here. I remember clearly.
Yeah, remember, when Captain Burrell was the leader of the JFF, they went to England and saw Antonio and said he wasn't good enough. You can't blame. And he admitted that on the day that they came, he wasn't good enough, right? He also paid his way like a Dean Burton and a Palla and Fitzroy Simpson to come to Jamaica. Right? He take on some of his expenses. So what makes it different? It wasn't his fault why he wasn't here for the last game. And so the truth is that we have to look at all the facts when we're saying these things, because we could be misjudging the players. We could be misjudging the players. It looked like we have lost Mr. Campbell for a while. So let's um see if he will come back in. Um yeah, CV will come back in once the internet is sorted out on his end. But please, this is Mr. Busy. If you don't know Busy Campbell, he does a lot in terms of honoring people. He's the one who is integral in the Belzidi charity game. He's the one who puts together also the One Love football matches where entertainers will play against past football masters, and those monies are given to players who are in some very difficult position. And so just the kind of work that he is doing, that is not recognized, but he does a lot of work like that. Footballers who are probably past footballers who are suffering in destitute situations, he puts on charitable um, events to help them to get back on their feet. And so, yeah. So let's hope we can get him back on to complete what he was saying. But yeah, so people hit the like button. We can't have over 130 people and don't have 100 likes. Come on, that's how you support the work. Listen, we don't have a super chat, but we have a super like button. So just hit it right now. And please, 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 if you have not yet, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. I want you to know that we'll be having a next former player tomorrow on the program, and we have one coming up on Wednesday. We have Dean Sewell, former Constant Spring player. He was a part of that Gold Cup team and the Shell Cup team and the World Cup campaign. He went to France 1998. We're going to have him on. And then we have some 16-year-old, a couple 16-year-old female footballers in the United States, born in the United States, that they are putting themselves out there. Though two of them are in demand by the American youth system. They want to represent Jamaica. So we want to put them out there in the mix right now, so people don't see them and say, well, yeah, that we don't want no ism and schism. So we want to bring them in from now, and they're coming to talk to us about why they want to represent Jamaica, and we'll be having that this week as well on the show. We're waiting for Mr. Busy Campbell to come back on. Let me take some of your comments. Yeah. Real talk. To hope you compare it, Pinnock. You not even can compare him with Maps. And Maps, a bench baller when more and Pinnock. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but yeah, much respect to maybe. Yeah. Let me take some of the comment. You all remember that the Federation owed the captain over 25 million. All right. Yeah. Yeah, listen, people, we can't do that. There's about to be yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, let me say this, people, right? We have to, I always tell people, seek to understand before being understood. We must always seek to know where people are at. Because sometimes, let me tell you this, sometimes we can help, even the elders, we can help the elders to understand certain things. Because the truth is, they may not be as savvy as us in terms of researching and getting certain information. And they may be getting a lot of surface information about what is happening with the state of the football. And because of that, yeah, right? So yeah, so the truth is we have to help them to understand, and understand as well that everyone has their own opinion. And even if you don't agree with a person's opinion, that's their opinion. And we must be very respectful of that. And I keep using my platform to encourage people, right? I keep encouraging people on my platform that we have to change the narrative. Our problem in Jamaica is that when people don't agree with us, we resort to violence. We have to stop that. We resort to being disrespectful. We must live in the kind of a society where when people have different opinion, when they differ, we can still show them respect, though we don't agree with their opinion. We can't get, like I said, that it's very, because listen, some of the things that Mr. Campbell has done in terms of helping people and football, I mean, the administration itself has not done some of these things, right? So let us remember that. All right, let us remember that. So yeah, the JFF, yeah, the JFF is very poor at communicating with various stakeholders. That is why the fans have to make up their own eggs. Listen, I have learned this, right? People will know this. So one of the keys, if you're married, if you're in a relationship, you know that one of the keys in relationship is communication. And I think unless the federation improves improves its communication, both how it says it, what it says, and the means by which they communicate, people are going to create their own message. And this is where I think the major problem is. Things need to be clearly communicated. I'm going to give you an example because in everything you can pick stuff out of it. One of the things that is being said, and everybody has come out with something different, is who selected the players? Who selected the players? Right? And every time you hear these conversations, you keep wondering who selected the players? And at what point was the selection made? And was the coach involved in the process? And were they selected based on a system, or were they selected based on a desire to represent and play for the nation? Who selected the players? I think that's something that we need to look at. Yeah. All right. So Blue Mountain Entertainment Group saying that I am here to dissect the older players because if them talk that because them talking crap, if they were so good, why so much failed campaign? Many things. Remember, and these are real facts, people. A lot of these players would have to take their own transportation to come to training and go back home. All right, that's number one. A lot of these players, then, like they said, they never used to have dinner when they finished training. They never had proper gears. They had one football boots. They never had stuff. Their clubs had to. So the truth is, when you think about the skill call and the Lenny had, maybe we don't know. All the players are saying, the past players are saying, if they had better management, they would have probably qualified. And you can't knock them for that. They are saying that we were good enough. And many of us who play football will look back and when you look back at your high school now and see some of the things that the youngsters have, you look back and you say to yourself, if when I was in school I had these things, we would have possibly this, we would have possibly that. So that's all they're saying, and I can understand that. Yeah, man, but please get Omar Dale on the program. All right. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try. Omar Dale, if you're listening, we need to connect. The people crying out for you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Man is my why did Topi get dropped by his USL club? I can't understand. This man can't make a USL team and he's in the national team. Yeah. Listen, I believe let me tell you my honest opinion of Topi and even Tyreek McGee. When these guys went to that under 20 tournament, Jamaica should have found a way to have them on a path of development. They maybe would not be able to start in this present team, but they would be more advanced. I think that is what Mr. Wilson was saying earlier, where he's saying that when our players finish the Costa Cup, there's no improvement, there's no growth. You don't see them until they get in their 20s. It's like 2 years of their development. 2 years or 3 years of their development. And I think that is something we need to look at. That is why I believe that at 17, you need to stop playing the Costa Cup. And we need to we can't, if there are no academies and people can't get into club teams, start a intercollegiate league that would involve some of these players and make it financially viable. I don't know if they are not going to go overseas, or get them into Europe, get them into the Scandinavian nations. That's what I do. Yeah, but listen again. But Ian Hibbert, Mr. Wilson just said that we need the English players. So all I'm saying is that, like, here's the thing. The truth is, and a lot of the people don't understand this. A lot of the people on social media, is that we already have a bias. And here's what we don't realize, that we operating from this place. That once you hear from a past player, here's the first thing that comes to your mind. They don't like the English-based players. So even when Mr. Wilson says that if 20 of them are, we're going to completely ignore that, because we already have a narrative. So we too must be very careful that we're not dismissive of them. They may be wrong, but we can't be dismissive, because both sides can be right. Both sides can be right, Both sides can be right. He told you that he believed the most committed, from what he has seen, is a Dean Burton. That's his opinion. We may not agree. I believe that Antonio is committed. I believe Liam Moore is committed. I can go on and name players. But here's what I will do. When it happens in relationship, sometimes allow people to talk. And you prove them wrong. So I'm saying to all the players, even our local players, because personally, I believe that there are some local players who are not committed to Jamaica. That is my opinion. I'm not going to call any names, but I just think like some local players not committed to Jamaica. If they had other choices, they would not be playing. My opinion. Yeah. Yeah. And let me give you a very good thing. Sometimes I don't some of the conversation, because listen, if listen, this conversation could go so many different ways. And here's one of the other things you have to look at. Look at this comment. Let me just take this one and then I'll come back to it. This is so true. I don't think some of these players are committed to Jamaica. Some of these same players who are saying the English players are not committed in the present team, if the coach leaves, they are going to leave. Are they committed to the team? So I hear people talking about, so let me give, like, we have to be very, you see how we discuss things. That's why I like to be very balanced in my discussions. And I don't always get it right. But when we talk about all of this development in England, if England is able to develop so many players, so many great players, England has not won the World Cup. And they have even hosted it. They have struggled to consistently be in the semi-finals of the World Cup. England as a nation. So we and that is why I'm saying that we have to put things in context. Listen, there are many Jamaicans who come on these platforms. They are not committed to Jamaica. Right now, if you give them a visa, them are left here. Jamaicans. Yeah, 1966. Thank you. Yeah, 1966. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that. It has been so long. Yeah, 1966. Yeah. There are many people, you know. There are many people who honestly, if they get a visa right now, they're not coming back to Jamaica. And that is why I said that let us not get into commitment. If I'm pursuing a lady and she says, listen, you only tell me that you're committed to me or not. Here's what I will have to do. Prove by my actions. What I want all the players to do is prove by the Shatter. I'm not talking green card. Listen, if some of them get visa, Shatter, not even the green card, them get visa, they're not coming back. We don't reach green card yet, Shatter. Right? You understand me? But let us not continually kind of allow people to share, right, how they feel and still respect their opinion. But I respectfully disagree with this opinion because both of us can be right. I think over the years, and this is why. Did you hear my video last week? Here's my suggestion, people. I think this weekend coming up, not next weekend, this weekend coming up, the weekend of the 24th, the JFF need to personally sponsor a trip for the coach to go to England. The coach needs to go to England. He needs to personally sit down, talk to Leon Bailey. He needs to personally sit down, talk to Mikel Antonio, talk to Liam Moore, talk to Ethan Pinnock, whomever he plans on calling for the next set of games. He needs to personally meet with them, talk to them, share with them what he expects of them. Right? Share with them what he expects of them. Not only that, not only must he do that, all right? Here's what he must also do. Let them share what they expect. Right? And see if both things can meet. Find out from them personally. Because the truth is, two things could be happening. The coach expects something from these players that the players can provide for the coach. Are the players expect something from the coach that the coach can provide for them? This must be done this weekend, or else we're going to find ourselves. We're going to find ourselves in the same situation in the next window. Whatever issues they are, they need to be put aside. And the focus must be on the nation's football. So if anybody from the GFF is listening, buy them a ticket. Talk to some people over there. Let him get into the West Ham game. Let him go to the Emirates to watch Arsenal versus Aston Villa. And then talk to Leon Bailey. Find out who West Ham playing. See if we can watch a couple of the championship games. This has to be done. Somebody else can be talking to the players about the coach must make the initial connection. The coach has players in England. I mean, Preston North End, I think Ricardo Fuller is there as an assistant now, doing his coaching badges. So we have contacts over there. See, to be fair, Mannings, England just started developing good technical players, and probably if it wasn't for Irish and Caribbean immigrants, the English team would be ordinary. There you go, and this is someone from out of England talking. There you go. Yeah. So listen to this. I love this upbeat boss, right? Where is upbeat boss? Upbeat boss is saying after listening, I think that should be listening to the president on sports explosion. The problem is with the coaching, and this is the issue. Here's the issue. People, let's think about it. Every time you hear the coach speaks, you think the problem is the JFF, and every time you hear the JFF speak, you think the problem is the coach. That is the problem, and that needs to be fixed. And if you don't fix, we're gonna have problem. It's funny how much we ask of our footballers and would never ask of our doctors, lawyers, and other successful Jamaican-born professionals have migrated overseas. Eagle Republic, great point, brilliant point, my friend. Brilliant point. Remember, people, yeah, nobody wants to take the blame. Yeah. Remember, people, we have Elder Map that will be interviewing. We have Dean Sewell we're interviewing. So we have Durant Tati Brown that will be interviewing. So we have some more legends who are coming up. We're going to find them where they are and talk to them. Right? Yeah. Like I tell people, listen, a lot of times when people say, listen, you're not committed. At that point, I stop talking and I prove by my actions that I am. And when people look at it, remember, people forget this, that when Dean Burton, Palla, and Fitzroy Simpson came, the sentiments were the same. But watch this. History has proven different. In other words, anybody knows me, no, I always say this. At the end, the truth will always win out. The truth will always win out. What that means is at the end of it all, we will know who is to be blamed. And by the actions of all the players, we will know those who are committed. We will know. We will know who the committed ones are. Like I said again, they are players who I believe are born in Jamaica that are not committed. So it is not a one-sided thing. Yeah, man, people, hit the like button. Hit the like button, people. Please hit the like button. That's how you support the channel, you know. That's how you support the channel. The like button, people. That's how you support the work. You hit that like button. You know that we have a big game coming up in half an hour. Arsenal forever. So I will soon have to leave you. All right. Brownman Security. 33 good sound. Listen, let me tell you this. The sentiment, and again, this is a narrative. We already, it's just, you know what is funny? Paul Teagat Davis spoke about having players out of England in the team. right? Lynval, Palla, Wilson said, and then people are saying most of the players that I've interviewed. No, man, that is not right. I'm telling you, that in the back of our mind, we have a perception, and that is driving the narrative. That is a narrative. That is a narrative. Yeah. Listen, and let me say this to you, and I'll say this to you. A lot of this thing about, and I'm not going to, because like I say, I'm going to have to watch it. My Arsenal play, as we will defeat Crystal Palace today. Watch this. You don't hear this in football because a lot of this thing about commitment start with players. And here is where it starts. People be smart. The players, when they feel like their place is being threatened, they will bring up stuff because no man likes to sit on the bench or lose them spot. Anyway, hit the like button, people. So let me ask you, people. You think if Gareth Southgate called Demarai Gray in November, he would still come to play for Jamaica? Say yes or no. If Gareth Southgate calls Demarai Gray and on September the 1st, and the JFF calls him on September the 1st, who you think he's going to choose to play for? Tell me, would he play for Jamaica if on the same day he received, Jamaica calls him at 10 o'clock and speak to him, then at 12 o'clock, England calls him, who would he choose to play for? You know what I would tell Demarai Gray? I would tell Demarai Gray, brethren, listen, what is in your best interest? And if he says England, I am happy for him. If he says Jamaica, I am happy for him. I am happy that Raheem Sterling chose to play for England. I would have loved for him to come and play for Jamaica. But I'm happy because at the end of the day, the players need to make choices that are in their best interest. There are some people who are going to choose to come and play for Jamaica no matter. But honestly, I believe that most of the players, if they are called by England, they are going to play for England. I don't think that means they are not committed. But at the end of the day, these guys have families. So they have the option of choosing what is in their best interest. So a lot of people upset with Ivan Toney because Ivan Toney and Isaac Hayden holding out for England. No, nothing wrong with that. No, we have a choice. Say we qualify and Ivan Toney says I'm ready, and Isaac Hayden says no, I'm ready to play for Jamaica. It's up to us to determine if they fit into our team at that time. But I can't fault them for wanting to play for England. That's where they were born. And at the end of the day, the money that they get from Jamaica, honestly, it's not going to help them when you compare to what they will get representing England. And that's just the truth. And a man has his family to take care of. So I want the players to choose what is best for them first and their families. So if Demarai Gray says, I want to wait and play for England, fine. If Nathan Redmond says it, fine. But I believe that if most of them were given the opportunity, they would choose England. And you have to respect them for that. Nobody come say, like I hear people already wanting to beat Ivan Toney. Let the man hold on and wait. But if we qualify for the World Cup and we have, say we have Mikel Antonio scoring goals and Bowser start scoring goals, we may say to Antonio, Tony at that time that, listen, we already have a couple of persons in that position. But if we are short of forward, I'll still pick him because I want to win the World Cup. Hey, Pagan, listen, there was a time that I wanted to play for Jamaica and it was so hard. Right? If at that time, a man say, hey, you know that your grandfather come from Ghana and they want you to play for Ghana? Oh, you mean? And they say you're going to the World Cup? Of course. Of course I would. The only time I would not pick a player is simple as this. If, like, I think the Robbie Earl situation to me is a case where I wouldn't select a player. If I know that you only come into the World Cup, we invited you throughout the campaign, you didn't want to come, you want to come to the World Cup, and then after the World Cup, you plan on retiring from football, I would not pick you. And that doesn't matter even if you are living in Jamaica and we keep calling you and you're turning down the invitation and say you're 36 and we get to the World Cup and then after the World Cup you're not going to play again. In that case, I would not select that player. I'd rather select a young player. What you're saying, that reward those who help us qualify? Boy, that is a hard one, people, because I am telling you, if Jamaica qualifies, right? If Jamaica qualifies, and Emil Smith Rowe says, "Listen, I would love to play for Jamaica now. We are short in that area, brethren. I would, because he's young. So I would select him. Of course, I would select him. Of course. But that doesn't mean he's going to come in and start automatically. But I would select him into the training camp to come and prove himself. That's me. That's my opinion. Tajay Brown, I am sure is not sure about what you're asking me about. How would you know? How you would know? Here you say. Yeah, the people, the comments are coming fast. Yeah. Yeah, I would select. Listen, I would exactly like a Mason Greenwood. There are certain players because they are young. I would select them. CC from Portmore. Yeah, man, big up CC from Portmore. But I'm trying to figure out what you're asking me to comment on. The Robbie Earl situation. How you know? Remember, Robbie Earl was in his 30s and he was being asked to play for Jamaica, and he was still waiting for England. But as soon as Jamaica qualified, he made himself available and he retired from international football right after the World Cup. Like in those cases, I'm saying that my opinion, and I would not select the person. But if it's a Mason Greenwood, I would select him because he's younger and he has a couple more cycles. If it's a Emil Smith Rowe, I'd select him. That's what I would do. All right, people, what do you see about this? All right, Ian Campbell, very good question. Very good question. If 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 Grant, Ravel, and JD help us qualify, and Isaac Hayden says he's available, or Emily Smith Rowe, you're saying that you want to carry them? Is that what you're saying? You want to carry them? Boy, that's a tough one, Ian. Because I'm telling you, I can also look at it this way that if I carry these players, I could still carry Grant, Like how we carried some additional players to the World Cup, I could carry Grant. But I am also thinking about the next cycle that I'm not going to have Grant. I'm not going to probably have Ravel because of age. And Smith Rowe, I would convince him then. That's what I do. But I see here, I meant you, if he was gonna plan to retire, I'd have never carried Robbie Earl either. Selfish play. Yeah, I think, and this is a problem. Cause remember, I think, remember Marcus Gale, there was a big falling out with the Robbie Earl issue, If you go back to 1998, because part of the issue with Robbie Earl is that the formation for the game was changed so that Robbie Earl could play in the World Cup. So the man could play. Great goal scored for Jamaica. Yeah, but it's a tough one, brethren. Yeah. You're saying get Alan Skill Cole. Going to work on that for you. Going to work on that for you, Claudine. People, 15 minutes before the big game, next World Cup is a 48-team World Cup. Yeah. That's why I'm saying Tajay Brown. All the players who are available, if we qualified, I try to tie them to Jamaica, even if I can bring them and give them all a 5 minutes, because I'm thinking about the next campaign. People, I see a comment here. I need to put it up. He doesn't want to play for a country. He knows he's not committed to just to get international minutes. Okay. All right. All right. This is Shevchenko. Bless up. Best players are English. Let them play. And if the best players are local, agree with you totally. That's how it should be. Which is what Mr. Wilson was saying. The best players must always play at all times. This is true, man. You think right now, Eagle Republic, this is funny, but it is true. Listen, there are certain people in Jamaica right now, born in Jamaica. If they have a grandparent in England and the English FA call them to come and play for England, them left Jamaica a long time, man, and gone, man. You say you'd capture them with friendly games and leave them out of the final 23. And I think that is it. Once you qualify, I'd use the opportunity to get all of these players to come in. Make sure that they have to play for Jamaica, especially the younger ones. And then when I'm selecting the World Cup squad, you squeeze out some of them. You understand me? But they can't play for any other nation. That's probably the way to go, Ian Campbell. Hey, Twin 23X, Tevin 23X. The big game, man. Well, I understand what you're saying because it's only one big team playing. So yeah, but it is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Tennessee, yeah, we appreciate the goal still, but Robbie Earl never deal with we good. He never deal with we good star. You're saying that Topi would not choose England? I think so too. I think if we qualify for the World Cup, listen, you see, if we are in third position at any point, a lot of these players who are hesitant will want to join. What do you think? Oh, the Arsenal game is at 2 o'clock. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Uh okay. I think there's a place in the team for DJ as well. And if Damari Gray is available as well. I think if we get those players, Liam Moore, Eason Pinnock, Mikel Antonio, Ravel Morris, Leon Bailey, and Damari Gray with the Kemar Roof, Anthony Grant, um, Adrian Mariappa, Bobby Reed, and probably if we can get a CDM, I think we would be good. Or they have to play in a competitive match. Are you sure? Because maybe we can play them in some Nation League games. Why is the game held in the United Arab Emirates? Which game, Pagan? Grand Fish and Roof must play. Ian Campbell. All right. Yeah, man, it's true, man. Robbie Earl really, Robbie Earl pulled a fast one on Jamaica, man. There you go. So the person was saying, I think when you play a certain amount of friendlies, man, you get tired. How it is now. I almost think so. Why you don't agree with Peso? Big up Peso from out west. Okay. Again, Richard is saying if no English born player has shown an interest now, it's time to cut the card. This is a hard one for me because, like, honestly, if Emil Smith were the younger players, like Max Aaron, these younger players get interested, I I don't know. These are young players in the early 20s. They have like 2 cycles in them. I would go for them. That's just me. That's just me. I would go for them. Are you sure, Tennessee? I think if you play 3 friendly games or 4, and you are a certain age, you can go back to play. Check it. I'm going to check it out, people. And on tomorrow's video, I'm going to let you know for sure. Fresh God, you have any info on that? Can you be cup tied in friendly games, or is it just there you go, 3 friendlies. There you go, 3 friendlies. If you play 3 friendlies, you can't play for our next nation, man. That's a new FIFA rule. Yeah. Well, people. Yeah. Yeah, people. Like, this is what we must avoid. Yeah. So tomorrow I'll get some official between Pagan 180, Fresh God, Shatter, Jason Ferron, and J. Ross. We're going to get some information. And Ishmael and Claudine H. We're going to get some information on how a player can be tied. Is it just international games, official international games, or can there also be friendly games, amount of friendly games that have them tied to the nation? Yeah. All right. Well, people, listen, we have done 2 hours and 50 minutes. Thanks to the sponsors of this video, Trick Cooks, right? Remember to get 25% discount on all Trick spices, jerks, and paste. Use the coupon code I am sure sports 001 and you'll get 25% off. They ship worldwide. Go to www.tricknick.ca. Right? The link is in the description. The link is in the description, people. So check them out. If you're a cook, you need this so you can upgrade to a chef. If you're a chef, you need this so you can upgrade to a top chef. All right. And if you can't cook, you need this because it makes your food taste good. All right. Definitely. So check them out. And then as we go out, right, we're going to play. But thanks again for everyone for joining, for sticking, for staying. Remember, join us again tomorrow at this time. We have a next legend that we'll be interviewing. Can you guess who it is? One at the Doncaster Cup level and one at the Premier League level, and also represented Jamaica. We have some ballers from Kingston, legends of the game, coming on to the program. Thanks again, everyone, all right, for joining in and being a part of the stream. Really appreciate this. If you have not yet, please hit the subscribe button, right? And the like button. Subscribe and like the video. Stay safe, people. Wear your mask, social distance, and sanitize so you can stay alive.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here, so. For your soccer news, then come over here, so. If you don't love sports, still come over here, so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here, so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.